you. I wanna do all the things we used to do. Say the things we used to say. Just play. All right, y'all. It's Deanna, your fave stylist. We're gonna take these glasses off so there's no. I want to see my notes, so I'm gonna leave these glasses on. Anyways, I'm here to give you guys some education and some things that I have learned that have helped me to be a quality clientele building hairstylist. And what I mean by quality clientele is a clientele that reproduces itself by word of mouth. I have developed a clientele to where I do not have to advertise. Many of my clients come from referrals because my clients bring in people who are like-minded like them. And I like the type of clients that I get because my clients are reliable. Many of them are loyal until maybe there's something that I can't do for them. And they're paying clients that know my worth and don't mind paying me my worth. So this video is for the stylist, speaking of worth, that wants clients to pay him or her what they are worth, okay? Which means you first got to know what you're worth. And then this is also for the beauty professional or stylist or nail tech that wants to stand out from other people. So what's going to happen is when you're trying to build your clientele, people are going to be calling you. They're going to be emailing you. They're going to be inboxing you. They're going to be texting you. They're going to be DMing you. However, you have it set up for people to get in contact with you. And what's going to happen is when you get a new client, that's going to be your opportunity to sell yourself. You can do one of two things. You can either turn them on as a potential client and say, hey, you know what? I need to be with this person, because they're shopping around when they call you. No matter what's going on, if they're a new client, they're shopping around in their brain. They're calling to see if you know what you sound like, if you know what you're talking about, if you sound like you know what you're talking about. They're calling to compare prices and expertise in comparison with other stylists. They're coming from other stylists' chairs, so they want to see how you do things. They're new to town and they're trying to find the best hairstylist. Everybody wants the best, and what the best means for each person is different for each person. But I feel as though that there's ways that you can make yourself stand out, because you can be perceived as the professional before they sit in your chair. You can be perceived as the expert before they sit in your chair. So this is why I wanted to call this video How to Sell Yourself to a Potential Client. Originally, I was like, let's do a video about how to charge your worth. But before you start learning how to charge your worth, you first need to know how to convince people with your demeanor, your way of handling things, your politeness, your delivery, you know what I mean, your expertise before they even sit in your chair, in order for you to even be thinking about charging your worth. But this is a very important step in charging your worth, because they need to be sold from the gate that you're $100 per hour hairstylist. You need to sound like that on the phone. You need to behave like that, and you need to deliver like that. Deliver meaning your communication, and also meaning when they sit in your chair, the words and the actions that you showed or demonstrated needs to be what is given in the service. You should actually be going over and beyond. I used to work for Ruby Tuesday, and one of the things that they trained us to do was to wow the customer, which means to exceed expectation. Exceed my imagination more than we could ever ask or think. You got to overflow for these people, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, the first step, when somebody calls you, they walk in, they inbox you, this is your first introduction to them. And first introductions mean everything. First impressions are everything. It sets the tone, right? So you want to set the tone for your hair salon. You want to set the tone for your studio. You want to set the tone for their service. So when they're on the phone, they're going to get a professional service. So they need to speak to a professional on the phone. What is a professional? Somebody that knows what they're doing, where they're going, and how they're going to get there. And they can make other people feel confident in that. Okay. So the first thing to do when they call is to be polite. Okay. I don't know how to get this across more than just the two words, be polite. Like for me, I'm from the South. I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am to everybody. And that makes people feel respected. And while you are being polite, you want to educate people. You want to educate them on, hold on. All right. So you need to be polite, okay? When people call you, you don't need to be rude, because when somebody is calling you to come and spend money with you, I think that it just is given nature that you would be polite to them, because they can go anywhere, and you want to make people feel appreciated from the get-go. While you are speaking with them and you're being respectful of their time and taking the time to call you, because there's some hairstylists that will say things like, I only accept appointments online, or a deposit is required. You know, those things are fine. You can charge a deposit. You can require that people schedule with you online, right? But you don't have to make them feel bad about it. And I know a lot of hairstylists go through a lot of crap, for lack of a better word. You know, clients show no call, no show. And so we have a tendency to take our attitude and frustrations from one situation with a client and we put it off on our new clients or whoever that may be coming in, thinking that, oh, I'm going to let them know before they even behave like I need to let them know. Okay? You don't got to do that. You know, it runs people away. You can turn away a client without making them feel less than a person. It's just unnecessary, and it gives you the reputation of being a nasty hairstylist, and it kind of stops you from gaining clients by word of mouth, because bad news travels a lot faster than good news. Okay, so the next thing is you want to educate as you assess. This gives you the ability to be credible and a professional. So if a client calls you and they're like, hey, do you do hair braids? And you say, yes, I do hair braids. What kind of hair braids do you want? Do you want singles or do you want individuals? Are you sure that they're braids? As they ask questions, you should be asking them questions too. It should be crystal clear, the service that they want to get done. And by the time you get finished asking all of your detailed questions, it should be crystal clear to them that you are a professional and you know exactly what you're doing. So many times you can over assess and answer questions for somebody over the phone. And even if you can't perform the service for them, like I don't do micro braids anymore because it hurts my wrist. I've had times where people have decided that they were going to sit in my chair and just get a different service simply because the way that I answered the questions made them feel that I knew exactly what I was doing, right? And it made them feel more confident. So you can sell yourself on another hairstyle by answering questions correctly about a different hairstyle, which I think hairstylists, beauty professionals, I always say hairstylists, but beauty professionals should be well-rounded about all the services that there are to offer, because whenever people come in and they're asking you questions, you know what they want done, and you can talk to them about it and tell them why it may be good for their hair and why it may not be good for their hair. And then maybe they end up getting a different hairstyle that you do because you were educated enough to tell them about the one that they were potentially getting. And also, you also will be able to refer them to another hairstylist, because another thing